So at that time, right, hip hop, would you say was still very innocent because it was still considered new?
Oh, wait. This is another time when what? Because I'm gonna go back a little further. Me first
Okay.
being introduced to hip hop, ever like introduced to a jam. My mother and her friend was at a jam, which is Arthur Park right now, considered Arthur Park, and we was across the street. I don't know how old I was. All I know, I had a big wheel, and they started shooting. I run to get my big wheel. My mother pulls me in the building. I run back out to get my big wheel. She pulls me back in the building, and she starts whipping my ass. And her friend is like, "Stop, stop! Don't he don't know. He just wanted his big wheel." And then I was more confused because 5 minutes later, the music come back on and everybody's partying all over.
Wow.
But
So
I'm
you had to be like 5 years old or something like that if you were
Yeah,
still, with the big wheel, right?
right,
Now, experiencing that really young, that's something that I know in the hood is normalized, right? Like you hear gunshots all the time, people die, all types of things like that. But experiencing that young is very traumatizing and confusing, right?
right.
Confusing for you. How was it like for you at that time experiencing that? Do you think that it had a major effect on you later on in life?
Uh, yeah, any environment can have an effect on you based on how you absorb it. But yes, it did because as I got older, it became normal and funerals became normal. How harsh it sounds.
Hmm. And what did you think about your mom's reaction to that situation? Because um, maybe was she confused by why you were going out there, and her friend reminded her, or what was that?
She was being overprotective at the time, which any parent would have been. I was just naive to what was happening, and I
Hmm.
wanted my big wheel.
Right. So,
So
other than the park jams, right? You're coming up in the Bronx and you're walking the streets as a little kid. Can you help paint the environment, like the scene for us? Like, what are you seeing? Was the Bronx on fire during this time, or that was prior?
the Bronx, it looked like a battlefield. Like uh, just picture 2 or 3 buildings on each block, but the rest of the block is abandoned buildings on lots. Um, the picture to get down shows a lot of how the Bronx used to look like. It's on Netflix, not to promote any other thing that's going
Right.
on, but it's it's a little series that shows you how the Bronx is looking like, and I got to witness that. So seeing it now um, is a blessing, but then getting into the political part of it, they took what they were supposed to upgrade our neighborhood with and made jails, hubs, little minimums, jails upstate with the HUD project.
So, what kind of activities are you doing as a kid then, if that is kind of the playground, so to say?
Oh, we was jumping off mattresses. We was making clubhouses. We was and all my friends knew how to was athletic, knew how to flip. So follow the leader was the thing. We was doing stuff like how you would see the European kids do, jump from building to building. I'm not gonna front. We was doing a lot of them things. Once again, being naive, hanging off different cliffs and different jumping off the third floor, the fourth floor window into a pile of sand, thinking that it was something cute doing follow the leader. It's not cute
Wow.
at all. Right. So Well, was something that you can't rewind, and people you only can see through pictures, but through the lens of my eyes, I got to witness how the Bronx went from looking like a graveyard to where we at today with it.
Yeah, it's crazy because when you hear a lot of people describe the Bronx at that time, right? They describe it like one of these countries that are is currently going through war. Like it's been bombed, you know what I mean? Third world countries and stuff like that.
One thing I have witnessed, hip hop, okay, where you was coming to a Bronx jam. So it could be burnt down or whatever. You was from Manhattan, Queens, even Brooklyn. The jam, them flies, I don't know how them flies circulated back then, how they was doing it. But people was coming from all over. And in other boroughs, people was doing the same thing too, having their own jams too.
Right, you got to make the best of what you have, right? And that's exactly what happened. That struggle that hip hop was born out of is exactly what has made it what it is today.
Right. It was really from a gang war that took place where they killed the peace treaty guy. And after that, all the gangs came together and they came up with a solution on how to handle stuff like that. And then they came up with another solution, which it was the birth of hip hop. It was called b-boy. And instead of people taking their aggressions out physically, they came up with battling. Who got the
Right, as a way
hottest?
to solve the issues, right?
Who got the hottest DJ? Who got the hottest dancers? Who got the hottest MC? So it evolved to what we see it today. So when it did evolve, a lot of people didn't want it to cross over the way it crossed over um, because they felt they was going to lose the power in it. And then the people that was crossing over, they was looking like a little bit like sellouts to the culture, but the culture still needed to go to the next level, basically.
Right.